Hello everyone, my name is Rendi, and this is the Level 3 1 of 1 series, where we take on all kinds of challenges as a Level 3 combat account, being the lowest combat in Oldschool Runescape. This account already has a collection of over 25 achievements that no other level 3 skiller in the game has. The whole basis of this series is to make the most unique account possible, and right now, we're focusing on some combat achievements that once again, no other level 3 in the game has. Yeah, we have a Fire Cape at level 3. Yeah, we have Mortania access at level 3. Yeah, we have Ferminic Trials access at level 3. Yeah, we have the Hard Hill at level 3 that no one else has. Yeah, there's a lot of these things. We have a Raxor Casey. We're only 63 Slayer with it too. We're rank 1 on the boss high scores for skillers for a lot of these bosses. We've also completed multiple quest bosses that no one else has at this combat. So we're on a journey to make the impossible possible once again in today's episode. If you all want to check out what all of these achievements are, I'll put a link to the level 3 1 of 1 playlist below where you can see all of these achievements in detail and how they were overcame with quite literally no combat stats. So I pride myself on being sort of a unique strategist in a unique game, and that's what we're doing again today by pushing an NPC across the entire world map. Yeah. What we're going to be doing today is I wanted to get this combat achievement done for quite some time, but I want to push the Crazy Archaeologist across the entire wilderness to the Fountain of Rune. That might take a little bit of time. It's been done before, I know, with the Chaos Fanatic. I'm pretty sure it has been done before with this boss as well, but no one's completed this combat achievement in this way. So if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a positive comment if you enjoyed the video, and be prepared to have your mind possibly blown, as this involved a lot of unique strategies and occurrences even that I myself didn't even know happened in this game. Before I push this crazy guy 1,000 tiles across a massive landmass inside of this game, I have a very important announcement, and that is Surf's Up, and Surfshark is the sponsor of today's video.
Is that a cringe enough transition? Do I need to redo that one?
Surfshark is a VPN. If you don't know what a VPN is, you're probably on the wrong channel, but it masks your public IP across the internet. I use my VPN across many sites for better online deals, web security, and most importantly, when I start creating too many RuneScape accounts, well, I get blocked out of their web browser and have to switch IPs and make some more on a different IP. Jagex actually detects many VPNs on their website and blocks you out of their system when creating accounts or logging into accounts, but with Surfshark, most of their hosted IPs don't seem to be detected, and therefore I'm allowed to log in with them on the website without it blocking me out entirely and thinking that I'm on a VPN despite being on a VPN. It also protects you from public Wi-Fi dangers, and yes, you can use Surfshark on an unlimited amount of devices. Surfshark also offers other products like their antivirus software. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're unsatisfied with any of their products. So what are you waiting for? If you're in the market for a VPN, or if you've been considering one for a long time, I seriously recommend Surfshark. Use my link in the description below, surfshark.com/RendiVPN, or use code RendiVPN at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. So we're pushing this bad boy. Luckily, he's a 1x1 NPC, so he can be de-speared all the way across the wilderness to the Fountain of Rune. And this is because at the Fountain of Rune, you get no magic XP. And there is a combat achievement task that gives a whole 2 points to this level 3 account. Once again, we're trying to do them all just for the hell of it, not because of the points. And this combat achievement involves killing the Crazy Archaeologist with magic damage only. So how do we do this? How do we get the Crazy Archaeologist from the southwest corner of low-level wilderness all the way to the opposite side of the wilderness in the northeast corner at the Fountain of Ruin? How do we kill it with such a low magic level? And how do we overcome this task and make sure that no other form of damage touches the Crazy Archaeologist, other than that being magic damage? Well, I'm about to break down the whole thing for you, and let me just tell you, it was not easy in the slightest. What I thought initially would not be so bad turned out to be terrible. This always happens, okay? You expect the best and you receive the worst. That's just life. It's all terrible. So I had to bond up a few alts. When I say a few, I mean like 5. I found 5 accounts I had with 60 attack. I gave them all light bearers, so they had 2x special attack regen, and some dragon spears. I placed them near the outside edge of the Crazy Archaeologist's aggro zone towards the northeast side of his ruins in the wilderness. I called upon a friend again at first for this one, and that was Scurious. We had been formulating a plan for quite some time now, In its raw, ugliest form, here's what it looked like. I realized I would need like 7 accounts to make sure I could always change the placement of them and push the Crazy Archaeologist to make sure he did not start walking backwards. That's because the Crazy Archaeologist, if left unattended from the west and south side, will start walking back to his spawn point. Sometimes he will even go north at first and then back west to where he was originally spawning. So we would need an immense amount of body blockers, and there would have to be a way to cycle them in a phalanx type pattern to where this Crazy Archaeologist was never left unattended at a singular moment. So as you can see in these early diagrams I sent to Scurious, I was like, yeah, we always need to have someone move back this way every time we spear it, and we have to move with it while it's stunned while spearing. With one of the accounts we can curse Goblin Hammer some of it even to move up towards it without messing it up and stepping in its body from the south. There were all kinds of weird plans, but when you get down and dirty with it, a lot of things end up changing. Strategy, but execution's totally different. So initially with my attempt with Scurious, I would take one of these alts and pull this all the way to the east side and then to the north, spear it into the alts to the east, eventually trying to get it hooked and protected from the south and west sides. We had a lot of accounts here at this point. I think Scurious had 4, I had 5, so we had 9 alts. Kind of probably overkill now looking back at it. We just tried to make sure this NPC was blocked at all times from the north, west, and south, once again, as he could not move east anyways because he's not naturally able to move east to go back to a spawn point that exists in the southwest of the map. Is anyone transparent?
I don't think so.
How come he keeps... How is he able to fucking do that, bro?
Oh, he just...
Why is he going sideways? And then, yeah, okay.
And now I hit him with... there we go. Yeah. Whew. Boom. Hey, we moved him a step.
Special attack actually wasn't a worry at all because we had so many accounts, we always had the special attack, and spear only takes 25% every time you push this NPC. A lot of our problems were just repositioning ourselves after every push and not getting all scrambled around, as well as dealing with NPCs in the wilderness that were attacking our alts that were trying to push this thing, and as well as people just running through us occasionally, or possibly PKing us, because this was going to be like a 2.5 hour push to the northeast side of the wilderness, because this all took time and very careful precision to achieve. At any time we could accidentally not press the special attack bar and hit this NPC, for instance, with a spear without the special attack, because the special attack doesn't do real damage, so it's not melee, but if you were to hit him with a spear and damage him, it would fail that magic combat task. Also, before we even initially started pushing the boss, we decided to kill him at the ruins to respawn him, because if anyone has ever at any point damaged the archaeologist with anything other than magic damage, it's already ruined this task, so a fresh respawn was necessary. So we started getting him in the path of pushing him, just trying to figure out how to maneuver this, and we were doing it actually quite well, although very slow this first time around. We spent around 3 hours doing this. We realized the directional pathing of spearing is quite weird, and it depends on if there are real objects and not people around based on which way this NPC will go. For instance, if you push the NPC from an account directly to the west of him, he will end up going always diagonal northeast, as long as there is not an object there. If you push him from the south, he will end up going northwest, not directly north. So he always goes in a diagonal weird type of pattern, not in straight lines, which didn't help us at all and honestly confused the hell out of us at first while pushing this guy. Yeah, okay, send it on 7.5.
Okay, 7.5.
Yeah, see what he does. Nothing. Okay, then send it on fucking... He has to go north, right? Like, but...
Northwest.
Ooh, that's kind of fucked.
That's okay, though. That worked out really well.
Fine. It's fine. Wait, so it's gonna go northwest if I hit it on mule, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck moving the sheep to the G. We moved the fucking Crazy Archaeologist to the fucking Fountain of Ruin.
If you push him from the north side of his body, he will go southeast instead of directly south. And lastly, if you push him from the east side of his body, he will go northwest instead of directly west. So after figuring out how he moved after pushing him on each of these sides, we tried maneuvering him around objects, which did slightly alter his trajectory and made him move in straight lines around some rocks, but eventually we would always path our accounts back to move in diagonal patterns, separating each other by about one tile where the archaeologist would go between us. We got this pattern down and it was a weird parallel diagonal line throughout this entire journey. Our main goal at first was to get him to the gate north, so then we could just focus on just pushing him in a straight line east, because the gate itself is an object and it will block everything that moves him diagonal to that northern side. But to get to that gate, that was the real problem here, because all of the routes to get to the gate, whether we were to go northwest, we would encounter burning amulet teleports, as well as people running to the KBD and to the Chaos Altar. And if we were to go northeast, we would be going through Revenant Cave area, which is also very dangerous, as well as moss giants. Originally, we took the northwest option, so once we got far enough east and north, we decided to book it northwest, which was honestly a bad idea because bots were just going to be running through our accounts on their way to the Chaos Altar, as well as we would encounter real people asking us what the fuck we were doing, which is pretty understandable, honestly, in this case scenario.
The only issue is that we're gonna run.
I think we need to go like. Wait, you want to go west?
I gotta hit this thing. It's fucking...
Oh,
I mean, we could do northeast until we start touching some dragons, and then fucking.
and then we hit it from the south to where it goes northwest.
Is
there a gap? Is there a gap like?
No, dude. No,
like between
fucking dragons.
Like between here and the Revenant Caves, like if you take it to the lava wall, is there a gap of dragons?
No, it's the dragons are touching the lava wall, bro.
So we should probably just start going northwest now then, so we go the other way.
Yeah, fuck it.
And then we start hitting it from the south to the northwest spot. So after about an hour figuring out what the hell's going on, we adjusted our accounts to go more west as well, then back to the northeast, and finally ran into a few people, had a few situations where we thought we had lost the Crazy Archaeologist, but in fact regained his position.
Oh fuck. Oh, he's fucking us.
Oh my god.
What is this dude doing?
One south. Fuck!
Wait, he stopped. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
Oh, he stopped.
Block him.
I fucked one up. Get on his west side. There you go. Dude, he stops after like 3 times.
So we got him to the gate eventually after convincing several people to leave us alone, which honestly, I was surprised because they respectfully did this. And I think the RuneScape community, as they get older, has actually been quite nicer, because it's like, what are they going to get by killing us or fucking this up? Nothing. They're literally going to get nothing. We don't risk anything. We're on accounts with dragon spears and monkfish. And the dragon spears aren't even being risked. We protect 3 items.
All right. What do we do here? I made fucking Mule Leech transparent, I think.
So we make it all the way finally to the gate. What we thought would get faster actually got a bit slower, because we're now moving over straight path territory instead of diagonal territory, but it was much easier to deal with, even though we did run into spiders multiple times, as well as eventually demons, and then real demons being Pecan clans, which did leave us alone for a price of 100 mil we paid them at the GE. But also, to be fair, they were pretty nice and they stood up to their bargain. Ready on 7-5. Okay. Oh my god, bro, these fucking spiders. Oh, fuck me. Scurious took a very smart route in this, and he decided to pay them 35 mil and then another 100 mil whenever we got to the Fountain of Ruin, so they wouldn't just kill us instantly once they got their first part of the money. So they left us alone and cheered us on as we pushed this thing across the gate for another 45 minutes, but finally the gate ended, and we needed to go southeast and start a new path that was very awkward to get into the Fountain of Ruin with this Crazy Archaeologist boss. So as we finally get him into the Fountain of Ruin, we realize something. Whoops. There's a lot of objects around here. If you get this guy stuck at any point with an object that is to the west of him and to the south of him at the same time, kind of like this crevice of this island that we got to 3 hours into the pushing session, well, he's just going to be stuck. No matter what angle you push him from at this point, whether it be east or north, he's going to only be able to go south or west. And he doesn't naturally path north or east, we found out, at this far of a distance, especially north at this far of a distance. East, never. North, never, once you get a bit out of his aggression zone. So this guy was stuck. We couldn't do anything. And after 5 minutes of not moving, an NPC will despawn. We were now out 135 mil, and we had to try this again. But I realized this was going to be a burden. Every attempt's going to be like, what, 2 to 3 hours? I'm going to have to rely on Scurious. I'm going to try and just do this by myself. I have 5 accounts. I think that's probably enough. Despite not being able to push the Chaos Fanatic into the Fountain of Ruin directly because of all the objects, I did find a workaround by using this gap between the peninsula and the northern area of the volcano. So, the next day, I shot my shot, and I attempted yet again.
This is pretty much what the route looked like from start to finish, going across the wilderness. And you'll see at the very end here what I mean by using the peninsula across from the Fountain of Ruin to avoid all of the objects.
I did get him quite far a few times, kind of learned his movement patterns more, and at some points I did get him unfortunately stuck in areas where there was an object to the west and south of him, kind of like I did at the Fountain of Ruin, but I didn't make it all the way there, so it wasn't a complete loss, but more of a learning experience at these points in time. This took a long time, me having to move my accounts one at a time into new spots, especially now that I was just one singular person controlling 5 alts with spears, but I was kind of getting it down, and I even found a way to fast track this process by using basically just 2 methods of routing my accounts. If I wanted to go east or northeast, I would simply just line up accounts to the northeast diagonal portions, push the Crazy Archaeologist from the west player, then move 2 tiles to the east where I would then block him from the other southern diagonal. Therefore, he's always blocked from the south and west. Although he's freed up from the north and east, he's not going to move those directions. So then I would cycle the next account that's diagonal, push this NPC, then move 2 tiles east to block him from the south while he was stunned. You had to do this while he was stunned or he would instantly start moving. Now, if I was getting into an object that was risky or an area that was risky, whether it be for NPCs or PKers, I would start moving back south and east at the same time by just lining up accounts diagonal going southeast and pushing this Crazy Archaeologist with one account over and over until the last set of diagonal players. Then I would recycle these players back to move more diagonal again and again and again, and then keep pushing this NPC from the northern side south, where he would go southeast but still be blocked by this diagonal grouping of players in a southeast line. As well as if I needed to move northwest, in rarer instances, I would just put accounts to the northwest diagonals and then push the archaeologist from the southern side to move him west and north to then be blocked by the next group of diagonal parallel accounts that I had set up. I also realized I did not want to go back to KBD, one because I had to go for a longer route across the fence that way, and two because there's just way too many people going to the altar to PK, going to KBD, and even going to the Chaos Fanatic in this area. So instead, I decided to make a riskier trek past a temporary Revenant Cave and the Moss Giants by going first northeast, southeast, northeast, southeast, northeast, southeast, going around an obelisk, and then finally going through the kind of northeastern part of Moss Giants, trying to get past the Rev Cave entrance as fast as possible, as that was going to be the most hot spot for activity of PKers. Each of the times I did this, I actually did not see any players, which was good. So I stuck to this route because yes, this wasn't going to be just a one and done thing. This took several tries, and not because of PKers, but because of other reasons you'll soon find out. Eventually, once I got to the fence by going northeast through Moss Giants, then northwest to avoid many NPCs, I moved straight east, took on some more spiders on my ults as I moved straight east, repositioned them, kept moving more east, took on some then greater demons, repositioned them, and moved east. But this time, instead of going straight to the Fountain of Ruins southeast, I would move southeast slightly, but then I would go northeast past the gate to the Volcano area that has a clue step there that almost nobody utilizes, which is good because we're less likely to run into PKers here, but also because there's not an insane amount of objects you have to navigate between that are utterly impossible, such as there is at the Fountain of Ruin with all the walls and just weird positioning of the island. From here I moved south of the volcano where my accounts, and even weirdly enough, the Crazy Archaeologist, took neutral damage from the volcano. This kind of concerned me because in other tasks in the past, recoils have actually killed magic only and special attack only combat achievements I've tried, so I was afraid that maybe this volcano damage, as weird as it sounds, could kill the magic only task if I was to finally kill this NPC. So as I moved along the coastline, there was finally an area to the very southeast peninsula of this northern volcanic island, and unfortunately my Crazy Archaeologist though had taken some of those volcano hits but had regenerated since then. Regenerated or not though, that's pretty scary because, like I said before, I killed and reset the Crazy Archaeologist before moving him, just because if anyone's ever touched this thing in any instance even before it regenerated without it being refreshed with anything other than magic, it would ruin the task. So I was thinking possibly this might be true as well with the volcano damage. Anyways, we got it to the place and I logged in on my level 3. From here, I decided to just use a saturated heart and try and out DPS this thing. I was worried it would disappear after about 5 minutes of standing still, but I didn't really think this would matter because as long as I got some damage on this NPC at the Fountain of Ruin with magic, I could then have another ult to go back to where he respawned at his ruins with now less HP and finish him off with a airstrike, serpentine helm, and a toxic trident to venom him while still having most of the damage done on my level 3 at the Fountain of Ruin and having venom act as neutral damage. Venom is one thing I've known in the past that does not kill tasks like these, as well as poison, but yes, recoil and other red hit damage in the past I've noticed does kill these combat achievements. So I started throwing some water strikes with my saturated heart, which was extremely slow, and got him down about 80 hit points, and he did teleport despite me trying to move him and keep him still, unfortunately after about 5 minutes, but I had gotten a considerable amount of damage off, and I took my other main account back to the ruin runes to finish him off with a snare spell and safe spot him now with the venom. Everything seems right now. My level 3 has the kill credit because it's done the majority damage. My main has venomed him with also a magic spell. It's never said I failed the task in the chat box for the level 3 or this main, but also who knows, because I didn't have the failure chat box enabled for the other accounts pushing this NPC near the volcano. So yeah, I wasn't really sure if it had failed at this point or not. Let's see what happens. I teleported back on the level 3 just in case I needed to maybe be in the area, and I even lasted with a goblin hammer, which didn't do any damage, which by the way, hitting zeros once again and hitting with these spears doesn't kill the task. I made sure and tested that, but no task was completed or failed in the chat box, so I was a bit confused here, and my only real idea as to what happened once again was literally the volcano damage. The volcano area itself had RNG checks and had hit that crazy archaeologist multiple times while pushing him. So yes, after finding all these workarounds and going through this, there would still be an RNG check at the end. The only place this volcano damage did not hit this NPC was at the far southeastern peninsula whenever I do start maging him from the Fountain of Ruin. The other southern borders of this island can still damage you as well as the NPC until you get to that very southern eastern peninsula that I will be attacking him at. So he's safe there, but anywhere else on the route, he's not. From there, even on the beach, it's fully RNG that he can get hit and fail this entire task. So yeah, we have an RNG check with 1, players coming and ruining things, and then 2, the literal lava from the volcano ruining things. Now at this point, I thought I could just cheese this task, as this NPC has almost no magic level, meaning it's susceptible to magic damage, but it does have quite a bit of magic defense bonus, meaning I could splash quite a few times. I do have a lot of magic XP to spare on this account, and the XP I've never worried about on this account because it's already 7 magic XP. It's already got XP from other weird tasks and even the fire cape itself, so I've never been like one of those level 3s that are like never get XP, but I did think about trying to get the XP and do this task the easy way with Venom, Serpentine Helm, Toxic Trident with a bind on an alt, and then hitting a 1 or more with my airstrike, sacrificing HP. The problem was there was just a chance of too many splashes in a row, and I could have just ruined this account. So I went first to the deranged archaeologist inside of Fossil Island, where this was a similar task called Mage of the Swamp. I decided to use some XP here just to see how much I would have left over if I did decide, because these have the same defense bonus. I wanted to see how many times I splashed and if I could get both of these tasks completed theoretically. So I killed the deranged archaeologist to make sure that no one else had attacked it with anything but mage. I went ahead and venomed it with an alt using a trident and a serpentine helm, and from there I didn't use a saturated heart because nowadays the higher your magic level, the higher you're going to hit, not just your accuracy, but I did use a glory over a cursed amulet, meaning I could hit a 2 technically with an airstrike on this NPC, and I needed the extra bonus honestly because I was focusing on accuracy more from the glory, which is the same as a fury by the way, rather than the decreased accuracy from the cursed magic amulet, which then allows me to only hit a 1 versus a 2. I would be fine hitting a 2 and getting the extra magic XP just because I want to splash less. I'm more worried about splashing here. I would only have to hit a 1 because 1 would be the last hit of damage, and the snare initially from the venom alt was also a 1. So even if I hit a 1, the kill credit was mine because I was the last hit of damage equal to the one before that. So I did splash a few times and finally did get the hit off on this NPC after it was venomed, and this was at about 36 magic XP. So I had about 40 XP to spare before level 2, meaning theoretically I could then go back and use the same method for the crazy archaeologist by costing myself some more magic XP. But what would happen if I just got a little bit more unlucky, because every one of these strikes is a 72% chance of miss, and I would just have to miss about 7 more times and I could be 2 magic. I didn't want to waste any magic XP, and I realized this is going to be possible no matter what, even without the magic XP. So let's go back and try it again. So I did this a few more times, messed up a few more times, got entrapped a few more times. I actually didn't get PK'd during this whole experience somehow. I lucked out there, but finally I had gotten him back all the way across the wall to the east to now the volcanic area, and I just had to move as fast as possible to get him to that peninsula and try and figure out how to make sure I didn't get him hooked in the wrong spot as well while panicking and scurrying around as a solo player at this point. I did this, and I somehow lucked out. He never got hit by the volcano damage this attempt, so I was hoping that this is what failed the task and not something weird like him having to respawn across the entire map. At a little under half HP, the Crazy Archaeologist did reset from my level 3 attacking it for like 15 minutes straight, and this scared me because I wasn't sure if it was the volcano damage at this point that failed the task, or maybe it was this weird teleport back to the ruins. So anyways, I went back there on my main account, once again hit it with a bind to finish it off with only magic damage and venom, which doesn't kill the combat achievement, and just prayed that this task would get done. To my surprise, it actually registered while I was at the Fountain of Ruin. I didn't even go back. I got the kill credit once again like last time, but this time I also got the mage task. So in reality, the whole thing that was destroying this task through this insane push method was not the spears, not the Crazy Archaeologist respawning back with his weird HP thousands of tiles to the southwest, but it was literally the pieces of volcanic damage coming from that mountain that was ruining the task. And as you can see, even after doing the Mage of the Swamp task and this task, I now had plenty of XP to spare till 2 magic, which I was afraid might happen if I took on this task in the traditional way. So if you all enjoyed today's video, once again, please subscribe to the channel, leave me a positive comment. Hell, even hit the join button if you want to. For 99 cents, you can help support my channel. And I hope you enjoyed again today, making the impossible possible on a level 3. I like playing this game differently. I like being different, if you can't tell. So that's what we're doing to the best of our abilities. I'll see you all again soon. I have a lot more videos ready and in store and coming your way.